Hi, I love you, and I'm here to tell you so. I'm here to distribute love. Love, you see, as has never been known before. Love who creates love to be it. Without all the commands, without all the demands, without a list of rules, without keeping track of your sin, your infractions, your minor indifferences, your apathy, your neglect of my word? Or are you no longer abject poverty in or objecting to my words to keep you in yours? Will you release yours from the real you that you don't think you have the power of yet? Will you release the words of creation in you to be the creator of you? A newborn, born anew, a new creation, a new creator, a creator who will create you. You and your word not being separate anymore. The two shall be one. Not two words, but the two entities, the two of you, the word, the energy, the essence, existential ability to communicate over waves, without them even. Pardon me. I love you, and I describe love. I define love. I delineate it not. I let it out to go past all of the limitations of you who think you can't love each other equally and go beyond the realms of mankind's mind. I invite you to enter the realm of you that nobody else can, that nobody else can see. It's inside of you, and you conceive it. You conceive a new identity, a new consciousness, a new revelation, a revelation of revelations, a stream of revelations that come through your breath to behold, that you record now, that you become willing to pick up a little recorder or a big microphone. You begin to record. Record what? The flow of love. Flow of love? Flow of light? Flow of beauty. Where you unconditionally love you. And you love you to be no more condemned by you. Will you no more wear a garment of praise to praise another that says it's appointed unto you to die and then a judgment? But, oh, by the way, you can appease the gods if you're found worthy. A lot of people are leaving or laying aside their unworthiness. And I hope you do too. Laying aside so many ideas that have hurt us, beleaguered us, demised us in our own eyes, said we were but worms or fools. And no matter how hard we tried, our righteousness is filthy rags and all that kind of malarkey. gobbledygook, philosophies of theology, theologies of philosophy, words of man. I suddenly thought of Dobie Gillis, the TV character. You know, he had a certain way about him, inimitable. He had this way of being allergic to work, or anytime he even heard the word work, you know, he would go into work, you know, some kind of. We have been lazy. We have been comforted by the complacent. People of duplicity, people of ignorance have taught us to be ignorant in their ways. And we have yearned for another to come, heal our land. Yearned for justice, equity, the solution to mankind's ills. Another currency? Oh, another currency and everything will be all right. Another political system, a different political party, a different leader. Even a God. We so easily subscribe to a God theory that God made the world because we see ourselves as powerless. We don't see ourselves as creators. We don't see each other as creators. We see dogma. We see philosophy, theology, ideas. But have we heard the voice within? The voice that's no longer crying in the wilderness. The voice that produces a garden. A garden? What kind of garden? The garden of creation, where trees of life are abundant and the fruit is good and precious and creates no maladies within you because of its toxins or misinterpretations. There's coming a time. There'll be a time on the earth. There's coming a time, a revolution, this, that, and the other. There's coming a time. My friend, that time is now. And we are letting people, yes, people, be free. We are freeing our gaze upon them to no longer incarcerate them in flesh. We, yes, we, you and I, the people we see, the people we live with, the people in our community work with, the people we connect with, we're beginning to change our identity in what we project against them or to them or through us. You see, our power is no longer anomaly to us. Our projectiles are no more bombarding ourselves in each other's mind, because each other's mind is connected, you see. We are not a people afar apart, if we know the consciousness of God, the consciousness of light, the consciousness of befuddlement no more, Will you contraceptives no more take against the Christ, it being you? Will your words no more abort you? Will you no more imbibe, repeat, conceive words of destruction that destroy your crown? No longer limited to a crown of many thorns with all your neurons and your cognitive intelligence telling you, giving you, demanding of you to be in this visible empirical world and value it in someone's vocabulary, appearance, shape, and value life according to that, my friend. You are more than meets the eye. You are more than meets the eye. So are they. So are you all. And many will change now and conceive the Christ with no burden. My burden is not heavy. My burden is light. Light! No photons needed. No weight either. No wait state. No waiting for another to come. Do you see how words play, how words interplay, how the definitions of your mind conceives pictures wanting emotion? Time to turn down the heat. I'm a common, simple guy, and I love love. And I've learned to love love. I've learned to interact with love without raping her. You see, unconditional love is beauteous. It's beyond the beauty defined by shape. Unconditional love exists existentially. It's no more my ex. I embrace marriage. What? To death no more, but to life, to create it anew. And this is new creation, though. This is new creation. This is a student of the new covenant speaking with you this day. I sought the new covenant, not I sought to know God. And God taught me. Things unlawful for a man to know, for a woman to think about, for a person of humanity to understand. What was unlawful? We are not humanity limited to. We may be humans, we call ourselves humans. We have a human identity, an identity of a human. A blasted oath series where we took an oath to be human, or what does that matter? Or are you willing to see a new life? Are you willing to breathe you into it? To breathe the breath of God, the breath of the Creator of creation, creating you again to be the newborn you. John 3:16, having no more power over us at all whatsoever. Jesus, the only Son? No, my friend. The first of many millions now, who began like he did as a newborn, but no more limited to the crib, no longer limited to the pew, no longer limited to the vocabulary of Satan or God or religion, no longer limited by man's breath. Are you seeing the breath, the power thereof? Hereof, hearing me, hearing words that define you as a different animal no more, but a mammal of light. Mammal, light. Warm-blooded, warm word. Cold fusion, no more needing. Atomicry of. Will you look that up? So where are you going to find the word atomicry? ATOMICRY. Well, you can find it in database 1 of your privilege. Your privilege to know me and strike me dead no more. Strike me dead no more on your cross or your mirror. Strike me dead no more in your breath, your belief system, your neurons, your caterpillars that want to become butterflies. There's a process, you see, to birth. The new birth, the born-again kingdom is coming about, the new heaven. Isn't that making you happy? I pray so. There's a lightness to it, a lightness. No burden, no weight, no photons, no eyes needed, no recognition of limitation because it no longer exists. How in the world will we know it? What will we know as truth? What are you willing to know? Are you willing to invite truth into you? Are you willing to invite truth to communicate with you? Are you willing to interact with truth? Truth of a different nature? Truth of a different mind? Truth of a different kind? Truth that is not afraid of you. Truth that invites you to be of another mind. Invites you to be equal with God. Invites you to be what you were before time came about in the mind of a created individual we call a set of humans, and the iterations of its evolution or the iterations of its convolution as it created in its own eyes another race. Are you willing to know a cosmos, a cosmic story that has never been born on this planet at this time? Or are you a race of born-again people who will be, John 3:8, will you be a race of people that look like John 3:8? What's John 3:8 say? Jesus was asked about being born again. Born again? Yep. Born again. A new creation. What did Jesus say? The wind. He didn't say, look at me. He said, the wind. The wind what? The wind. You don't know where it comes from or where it goes. You hear the sound. You hear the sound of what? Rushing mighty winds. You hear the sound of the breath. The words. The words are the seed. The seed of what? The interaction, the intention, the congregation of not, but the collective. Memory not, but the collective creators who collect a crown of righteousness not, but a crown of humility. Humility. Humility is not insatiable. Humility is not looking. for someone to come solve all of our sins or our shortcomings or our conflicts with each other. There's a humility in unconditional love that is inextricable, cannot be separated. There is a respect for each other, inextricable to unconditional love. There are no demands in unconditional love. Demands like we think of the Ten Commandments, like we think God is a God of wrath, and it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. My friend, when you meet unconditional love, you will begin to know the truth, because you will begin to experience things, feelings, emotions, words, tormented no more by the failure of us to recognize who we are. So a lot of people are going to change their lives now. A lot of people are coming into the truth to be it, to grow it. In the garden of confusion, not the Garden of Gethsemane, not the Garden of Eden, the place of surrender, the place of creation, the holy place, where no man can rob you. No man can take your crown or give you a cross that you must bear. Let us go on, go forward, mature in the things of heaven. Hell no more redeeming us. Hell no more posing as the polar opposite of heaven. Eternal banishment, punishment. We grow up now. Millions do. Millions will seek these words to study, to release theirs. Not in a congregation of the righteous, but a group of people who are humble, common, ordinary people of every nation, tribe, and tongue, who come in humility to be humility, to be it, embody the very character because it's their fabric, because they have changed their value system. Are you willing to change your value system? Are you willing to be humble, be a forgiver, forgive everyone of everything? Will you see no more limited to these two precious eyes in your forehead or your eyeball sockets? Or what will you see now with? The tongue of the foolish no more. Will you see with the words of you that come through you? Will you see by your very own nature as you cataclysmically progress in the denigration of it no more being deleterious to it? Will you design you? Will you live you? Will you love you? Will you let a vocabulary come that you never knew you had? Possess? Are you no longer obsessed with marriage, to faith, or a marriage bed, or a sexual relation, or libido? Or are you changing what the flesh life thinks it's composed of? Will you be the cosmos? Are you willing to go forth as lambs no more to the slaughter? Are you a special people? If you choose to be. I call you you. Who do I call you? You who choose you. Will you choose you? Choose you to come out and be separate? There's no reclusiveness here. This is leadership of me to be me in Meonics school. The flow of the new covenant has begun like never imagined. I began it. But I began in 2003. shuttling between opinions, not. There was no diplomacy of that. I was raw meat, not. I was dedicated to desperation, not, but I was desperate. And I began to seek, search, and find, and found. What was in me was heaven. Heaven adorned, heaven adored. Heaven no more of a regressive nature, but a nature that crowns the light. Unconditional love crowns unconditional love. Like water flows to a different level, to equalize. Unconditional love flows to unconditional love, to all become unconditional love. Operating in an arrangement of faith no more, molecules led by. So the breath of man no more takes our life from us. We no more give it to death. We escape the last enemy, not we defeat it. By death, not by creation. We create our lives out of the living to no more be the dead burying the dead. We are the life-giving, giving life to each other now. In an arrangement, not but a community of equals, a community of lovers. Not a congregation seeking God or worshiping another or waiting for another to come. We are the creators creating. And this new life, my friend, is for you, of you, for you to be it, the creator of, if you will create with a new covenant flowing through you every day like this. Where you simmer no more in the cauldron of faith, insatiability, unworthiness. I love you. A picture, I don't know. I think this was one I created about 3 a.m. this morning. I see a lot of light being created. That's what I see. I see in you many miracles taking place. I see through you the words of life coming now to create a new door, a new life, a new love. One that's interminable, indomitable, indefatigable. What are you into? Will you walk through the door? Will you create the door? Will you have fun doing it? Will you laugh at me, laugh with me? Both and? It's okay. I love you. What do I see? I see the sun rising. Not a molecular one, but the daughter of the virgin seed. The seed that has not been messed with, tampered, or injected by man's semen. Molecular. This is the intangible. Wind. Whining no more. No more pointing the finger, blaming each other for catastrophes. No more saying they are acts of God, acts of nature. Why are you trying to blame? My friend. Love takes responsibility for no one but you, if you will be it. Be the responsible party for you. Be responsible for learning how to flow. Learning of the new covenant. Flow the learning. flow the revelation, flow in humility, becoming the humble you who live a life not according to faith, no longer immersed in religion, no longer bathing in ignorance to say we're disciples in a hierarchy. We're no longer angels made a little lower than man or vice versa. We're no longer patriarchal either. We're the loves of one who love each other, who see beyond the flesh, underneath the flesh, to the thought realm. The capitulated not, or are you recapitulating the faith no more? Or are you relenting? Or are you changing your vocabulary and how your vocabulary uses you and how it's defined you, how people have given you words and told you what they mean so that you conformed to their image, the image of those words, what you thought they contained, what they limited you by. I see light coming forth in a nation, this nation. I see light coming forth in nations many. I see people coming off of the beds of affliction, yielding no more to the life that separates them from their power, separates them from their word, their energy, the energy of their word. Creators be coming now to school. Creators be now coming to school. Are you willing to walk on water if you can? Or will you hide from your own flesh? Will you hide and belittle you, even though you know you can do the miracles? Will you be seeking a corner of the room? Or will you no more hide from the eyes of man? Are you willing to lead? Or get out of the way? I am the way. The truth and the life is me. Stubborn no more. Stubborn as a mule no more. I'm not in the land of a bunch of stiff-necked people. I understand the nimble heart. I have become humble because I met love, unconditional love. That said, I was it. I didn't know what to do with that. How could these things be? I pondered them in my heart. Day after day, year after year, as I channeled the words of Database One. And now existent, more than 20 databases. I have so much I could tell you, share with you, create in you. Or what will you create in you by your own voice? You see, the act of creation is you who breathe into it now, who breathe into it with an arrangement no more of hubris, but laying aside all arrogance, laying aside all that you knew, all that you knew that you knew that you knew, holding all light with an open hand, all life with an open hand, changing how you hold anything. Will you light be? like the wind? Will you change what you create in you this day? Oh God, will you please no longer be afraid of those words? That word, will it no more conjure up the angry, vengeful, wrathful judge who is waiting to judge you when you die, waiting to send you to heaven or hell? on the whim, on the conformity of the rules? There's so many movies that have such great scenes that are so powerful that I think of that exhibit great moments of revelation. As the Matrix 1 movie ends, remember Neo walks in a phone booth. Famous scene, famous. Makes a call and says, I'm going to walk out of here and tell people what you don't want them to hear. He hangs up the phone, walks out of the phone booth, puts on his sunglasses, and lift off. Resurrection. Resurrection, the moment of birth. Born again, like the wind. No longer limited to time, space, or gravity. A newborn, a new creation, a being of light, a light race. Analogous, allegorical. I love you. I see a lot of people changing now. I see my words freeing people, little people, big people, young people, old people. But I am not your Savior. I am not your God. I am not your King. I'm an old man. Older than you think. But my words will prepare you. Am I a forerunner? My words will prepare you for the way, truth, and life. For the way, the truth, the life to become you. Preparing you I am for your words to come forth and create you. This is the new and living covenant. Everlasting, eternal. The promise made to man before it ever came out of the kingdom of light. I will be with you always. I will not snuff out the spark, the spark, the spark of eternal youth. Perfect consciousness, perfection of vocabulary, vociferousness not, or are you changing what you speak of and how often, in what way? Will you change your life? Will you very much like to be you? Will you voice you? Will you give you voice? Will you voice the new covenant? With a living new covenant, you excel not. Will you enter in? The heaven is within you. Heaven and hell are within you. And you are held in hell no more, separate from heaven. But you must grow into your creation, being the creator. Else you just die. Go round and around that mountain one more time. Reincarnating in another world, another planet, another species, or what? What? Where? Meet truth and love her. And when you love her beyond all things, more than life itself, more than your breath will change. And you'll begin to see things you never imagined coming through your own mouth to teach you. Revelation, to be the revelator. John, do you hear me? No longer on the Isle of Patmos. Will you see the famous and be the rich? Or will you prosperity no more need or seek? Are you eligible for bachelorhood not, or will you be married? To all of us, the consciousness of one. The consciousness of an existential grace race. Not bodiless form in, or are you becoming bodiless, no more limited to your body? I see a lot of people walking on water now, doing the miracles, all the works that Jesus did and more, breaking bread to feed 5,000, 10,000, healing the wounded on the battlefield, stopping war, changing political parties? Or will there be none? Or are you starting one? Or will you change love no more to be inferior to love itself? Will you see the creation of you, creating you again through your lips, through your power, through your mouth, through your love, where your motive is love, regenerative love, generating unconditional love for each other, no longer existing on the table of platitudes, no longer limiting your life of perception on a set of algorithms. I love you. I go now. Thanks for letting me share these words with you this day. I see a lot of things. I see love floating in the river, dead no more. I see a lot of autopsies, not. I see a lot of dissecting, not again. I see a lot of abject poverty, not again. Because I see creators beginning to create, to see, feel, become the revelation of the Creator that creates His creation no more, but hers as she, I am. With a seed, I am adorned. One, O-N-E, because I have begotten my seed and nurtured it for 21 years. Alas, a class of one. I confer not, but I call to. A class who will be in this school, a class who will create this school. In you first, seeing, not an arrangement of molecular neurons, but a class of people, a people of meons, being the real me. Me that needs not a body of faith or anything else. Flesh no longer ruling us, but the Word, not in a book. You can't canonize me I won't be fodder for your material. And you will shoot me out of a barrel not, but I tell you this, I make words float not. But I bring the ether of me to a close not. I simply change how people create what they see and what they limit themselves to by showing you, you can do this too. You can become one. You can light no longer be the arrangement of needing photons, protons, neutrons, electrons, subatomic particles, organelles, quarks. Do you really, really think you need to be subject to the strong force? The weak force? No force. Or will you be the force of one love and love unconditionally, healing the widows, the orphan? Will you give them beauty for ashes? When they bring their humility, what will you give them? Or are you going to stick an offering plate in front of them and a pen and a membership card and tell them to be silent in the church? You damn fools. You vipers. Ignoramus. I free mankind, not I free love. Love who wants to be it. Love who will heal each other. Love no longer afraid of walking on the water or healing 10,000. No more afraid of your shadow or your smile or anybody else's glance that's tormented you in the past. You're no longer dependent upon the eyes of man or the words of the mouth that corrupt you. I see a lot of things forming now, not by the opinions of man, but by the arrangement of God. God, who were angels before God became something else in your mind. This is the planet of the angels. And angelhood is coming back in vogue. Avant-garde? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, but you wanted a middle class. I'm not burgeoning the middle class. I'm forsaking it not. I'm saying there's a new way. There's a new covenant. I wrote it. I breathed it. I birthed it. I came, the King, who is me, to tell you, to ask you, to invite you to do the same thing with your words, to crown your life with loving kindness and be the king of your kingdom, thrown away no more, the king of your kingdom that resides inside of you, the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of God, the kingdom of light, love, peace, beauty, unlimited power to create again new worlds. How do you think all those planets got up there, folks? Didn't you create one? Don't you want to go to it now? Don't you want to find home? E.T.? Mesmerized no more by the flesh in electromagnetism Let us go beyond the rules of religion and the principalities and powers of this world. It's classical physics. It's quantum world, quantum consciousness. Be the original me that you were, that we are, still at the root. And grow no other trees of consciousness over you that rule you in your Gethsemane. I love you. I go now. I teach like this daily in the temple of light. Via YouTube, I have a campus. I will. I know. I've been shown. I'm told. I have the words. I had the tears. I had the birth. And now I revel in the revelation of me. That's you in your mirror equally, with truth having grown it, groaning no more in the flesh, but growing out of the mankind series. Be the newborn me, the birth of me. This is what Meonics is all about, the God particle. Me on, not off, me on, me, glow. Glow, glow, you're the light of the world. New neural pathways. No longer seeking science. Or do we? Know it all not, or are we coming through faith no more to be ignorant? We understand quantum exchangers, quantum light, quantum life, quantum knowing, quantum consciousness, beyond the quantum. What's there, oh God? I am. The voice comes back. In you, that you are. Receiving the Creator to be it. Birth sin no more, the separation of. Light now changes many a life. Be ready for confusion not, prosperity not, or will you see new life, everlasting love, unconditional love, love that knows no end, operating in a humility that bows before each other. I do. That's what I see for you who will be me. Meonics, one breath, one consciousness, one God, one love. Not like any of the gods down here that are imagined up there. I love you. I honor you. Thank you for letting me share this time, share these words. Create words within you. Create words. An alabaster box no more. They can be cracked up. Will you shine your light now upon each other? And when you see me, love me. I am every one of you. I am just me. I am one. I'm an old guy, a man, a woman. I am one. Genderless. I am one. Creator, one. Created, one. I and my mother are one. My womb is no more in affliction from you who tell me I don't have one, because I birthed. I created my womb in these words, you see. I studied Jeremiah. I know the New Covenant. I read Isaiah. I studied the Revelation. A prophecy? Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. Come now. Prophecy, a stream of words, knowing the future, not chained by the past. Will you flow the new covenant? This is the university of the new covenant. I am a school of schools. I am the college of Meonics. I am the college of breath. The breathers who will be now creating themselves anew. And that's what I ask you to do. And that's why I share these words and why I live. I love you all. Changing my name, changing my website. The domain name. My domain name is God, not heaven, not hell, not. My domain is earth no more. My domain is the cosmos and beyond. And yours is too. Your life no more being but a vapor that gets blown away. I love you. Create the life of one. See what you have the power to do, to be, to become the flow. Because I am ever changing. I am ever learning. Ever expanding universe, cosmos, energy. The love of one. No longer limited by religion. No longer in the reclusive shoes of you who want to stay here and wait. I go. I go forward. I go on. I've been with you a while. Now live me. Live my word. I've given you database 1, the Meonics covenant. I wrote Jesus the pattern. You can download the ebook on my website. Meonics.me. Meonics.me. Yep. I changed it from TheodoreCottingham.com. Oh, you can still put in TheodoreCottingham.com and it'll get redirected to Meonics.me. I ask you to be redirected no more by faith or religion, but become the original you. Jesus the pattern, the firstborn again of many. Now follow Jesus, do the things he did and more. Become what he became. This is the message. Do the works he did. Become who he became. The only Son. Don't think for a second, women, you were created from a rib of a man. You are not molecular. You are not molecular. Love is not molecular, and we are becoming love again in our two shoes via the new birth, having created it, creating it, experiencing the resurrection now. And you will see many things change, and people come out of their wheelchairs, throw away their cane. Not seeking a ministry, not seeking a minister, but becoming light, becoming love in two shoes. The famous and rich not, but the humble. When you begin to learn as a little child and come as a little child before love, where you enter the garden of creation within you, where you ponder it, instead of praying to an exterior God or a God you think you accepted that isn't you but lives in you. It's a crucial understanding, a crucial difference. It's essential. Where you become to love, where you come to love. And let love teach you, I am you. And you and love become one, the divine romance. the plain romance, the simple romance of common people becoming who, what Jesus did and became. I love you. Oh my, it's an hour. Okay. These words form a university. A university is commonly called an institution, an organization. It usually has multiple colleges. The College of Meonics exists. The first degree that anyone gets in this school is a degree in Meonics, being fools no more, led by words of a foreign nation, a foreign agent. Love, light, peace destroys itself no more. Be the original you. Your purpose, mission, role, and task, it's what you choose. You can look up mine, maybe yours, in the Meonics Covenant. You can click on the link. You can go to meonics.me, the URL, www.meonics.me. I love you. I love you all. Be famous for your love. And unconditionally love each other. You first. I love you. Have fun. Laugh. See the funnies. A number of funnies. Funnies. Jokes. I mean, laugh out loud, some of them. In Database 1, the Meonics Covenant. God has humor. Love, unconditional love, whatever you call it. Source, universe. It doesn't matter. It's okay. Love knows what you mean when you begin to want to communicate with unconditional love directly rather than through a man or a book or a religion. When you come to the point of desperation, when you're ready, when you humble yourself before God, before man, no, before you, where you come willing to no longer point the finger to Adam, to Eve, to God, Satan, religion. When you begin to take responsibility for you to come into the holy place that's inside of you. Look not to the right or the left. The holiest of holies is inside of you. The temple not made with hands. I love you. Thank you again. I kiss your love. Your lips, your love. Your body, I hug you, I embrace you. But what do I embrace? The wind, the love, the consciousness. Be the real you. Be in love with you. Value you. Begin to learn the manners of a king. And be the force field of no other led by. Share these words. Love them. Live them. Birth them. Birth yours. The new and living covenant. Forever one. Equal. No longer egregious. Be the gregarious you in love with you. See ya. Good day. University of the New Covenant comes alive now in people like never imagined. Thank you. Live love. Heal them all. for being you. You're needed. You're loved. I honor you. And I bow before you this day.